I also just realized that I'm running ISRU on this guy. It's not a big deal that I was doing it, but I don't really want to do it. I would rather have the electric charge right now. We're still not up to 10 kilometers. So if that ISRU ship has, what did I say, 490? 430. If it has 430 meters per second, or the Prospector probe, if it has 430, we're good. If it doesn't, I think we're kind of boned here, and we're going to have to go back to the drawing board on Kerbin to send more ships out. There we go. 10 times time warp. How luxurious. But when we get up to periapsis here, I'm going to burn my, or when we get up to apoapsis, I should say, we're going to burn my periapsis up to 12. Because that's what I'm going to put the Prospector probe at if I can get it there. And we'll have to deal with the time warp, because I don't think we have the fuel to not deal with the time warp. One thing we could possibly do, which I don't think is very reasonable, is to be aimed prograde when we want to be burning prograde. Hold on, please. Okay, 12.3. Let's head back to... Actually, let's go into... Come on. Let's switch to him and see if he has at least 500 meters per second in his tank. Please say you have 500 meters per second in your tank. 622. Okay, we can do this. We can do this. Okay, let's lower your landing gear. So far, we've destroyed 3 sets of landing gear between both of the ships. I think we can just take off. Let's hit F5. Let's hit X. No, let's hit Z and get right to the horizon here. We want to be as efficient as we possibly can be with this guy. We're going to get him right up to 12, and then we're going to stop. There we go. Whew. This makes everything easier in the mission. I actually don't know. What's bigger, Eeloo or Drez? Drez is 430. Eeloo is 620. So we basically can't do this on Eeloo. We have to leave this guy attached to the mothership on Eeloo, or be smart enough to fill this part up before we detach. I only filled this one up. If we had filled both of them up, we would have been fine. So if I can remember to do that, then I'll be a lot better off. Yay for 10 times time warp. And we're going to try to get him up to about a 12 by 12. And then we'll figure it out from there with the mothership. The mothership's going to do the heavy lifting with this encounter. Twelve by 12. Okay. Where'd the mothership go? There it is. Set this guy as our target. Or not. Or is that it? That is it. Okay, let's set this guy as our target. That way we can say stay on target. And gotta turn off trajectories because that confuses me. Focus on Dres because that also confuses me. I think we're gonna burn a little prograde. Just a little, just enough to bring our descending node here out so it touches. Actually, no, that's retrograde because this is our orbit. That's his. Gonna burn just a tad retrograde so our descending node and our orbit crossing is at the exact same spot. Okay, now add this descending node. We're gonna burn normal. Right about there. I think that's 9 meters per second well spent. And then we'll worry about actually encountering him. Of course, everything is going to take forever because you can't time warp in low Dres orbit more than 10 times. While we're waiting, though, I guess I could set up the Eeloo transfer. Dres to Eeloo. What is that? Yep, 2,000. We got plenty. And we have more than that because we have ore in the tanks. We have closer to 3,500. So getting into orbit around Eeloo is not going to be a problem, as I didn't expect it to be. But let's go ahead and add a Kerbal alarm clock alarm. How far into the future is that? 4 years! Now, Jeb's already been in space 22 years. What's an extra 4 years added onto that? Then the transfer time, of course. And if it's anything like the transfer to Dres, I'll screw it up and then I'll have to do a couple orbits of the sun in order to fix it. My God, this is hard to watch. I'm sorry for anybody else at home who's watching, and none of you are, so yay. Well, yeah, that's what you get when you want to document the entire mission. You have to wait through things like this sometimes. And now. Should be basically good enough. Yep, 0.0. Okay, and that's not even the closest approach. Apparently this is, for whatever reason. Which is kind of annoying because it's nowhere near anything. But if we accelerate... What if we do it here? Oops. Close alarm and pause. There we go. I think we're just going to do this. We could actually probably do this with the other ship. It's only 30 meters per second, then another 30 down. Or you know what? Maybe we'll do one with each. Yeah, why not? We're already on this ship. And apparently it's in a whole orbit away. So there's that. Let's go ahead and go to the Space Center. Okay, 30 meter per second burn. If we delete the maneuver node, we'll see that we're way off. And if we hit N, no, H, to RCS our way back to close. I turned on fine controls, but you can't see it in the game. Okay, now we're 0.6 kilometers away. Our apoapsis is a stunning 74. It's going to be a while before we get to 30. So I don't think it's worth it. Let's go ahead and go to the Space Center. Oh. I never set up an alarm. That was dumb. Let's go to the Grand Tour Prospector, which is the one I was planning on doing all this from anyway. And I guess we'll fly him. We can't do this because I don't have a target selected. So let's go ahead and set our target. Add an alarm, and now it's 50 minutes away. We're not waiting that long without going to the Space Center, though. Everybody's going home after a hard day's work, knowing that Jev has everything under control up at Drez. Okay, where is our target and where is our thing? There's our target. We are 5 kilometers away. We've all seen this before. We only have 235 meters per second, but we probably only need about 20 meters per second to get this whole thing done. 235. Let's see how many meters per second this whole encounter takes here. Well, it's going to be at least 28, I guess. Okay, let's aim ourselves retrograde. I realize we're coming in on the correct side. Don't really want to screw this up. So let's set that as our target. Let's set you as our control from. Let's get ourselves heading in the right direction here. There we go. Should be good enough. Let's go into fine-tune mode here. There we go. Nice and easy. What was it, 235? We're at 195 now, so we've used up 40 meters per second getting this encounter. We might use one more, finishing up the docking here. I say might. Well, it looks like no. We're still at 195. And we're docked. Yay! Okie doke. He's empty, as should be. He doesn't need to be empty, I suppose. Okay, we are in orbit of Dres. We have an Eeloo something in 4 years. Where's our ecliptic? Our ecliptic is right here. Do I really want to fix our inclination? I don't think I do. I don't feel like it. I have to hit F5 and then hold F9 to get my ability to create maneuver nodes back. Just going to add one here, then we're going to go to this. We're going to get our universal time of the Eeloo transfer. We're going to paste it into here. I don't know exactly why these are different numbers, but I'm not going to complain. We don't care about this anymore. Now, this one, let's just eject at, let's say, 500. 522, that seems reasonable. Let's make sure we're at 5 times time warp so we don't screw anything up. Now, we need to know when we do that, that sends us in a negative direction. So we want to be on the other side of this. Going this way-ish. So we go in a positive direction. And this is... We may actually want to go a little bit farther this way. Because I think it's going to be happening over here. Yeah, we want to be going more away this way, like out here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this about to here. That is, I suppose, closer to what I want. I don't even know what it's doing anymore. Are we really going out to meet Eeloo out there? I guess we are. Let's make it 1522. And then, actually, I should be using this here. Yeah, see, that's all getting worse. So actually, it's like this. We're going to be meeting Eeloo at its apoapsis. As long as our apoapsis is going up, I know that we're not at the most efficient time to leave. So it's right around here. This is yet another reason why precise node is so important. Then we go down to here, and then we can set Eeloo as our target. Okay, I think we're going to be doing a mid-course correction. There's no... Unless that is the spot. Maybe that is the spot that it wants us to go to. Let's try it. Yeah, see, when we're here, Eeloo's there. And we're going slower than it. So that's completely wrong. That is completely and utterly wrong. And I don't see a way to make it not be wrong. Unless we change the time somehow. I mean, I suppose if we do like this, maybe this is better. Nope, doesn't change a thing. Part of me wants to just say, screw it, I'll do what I want. And I think I'm going to. We know where this is. So what we want to do is we want to leave Dres when we're around here. Or we could just take this and do something along these lines. There's an Eeloo encounter with a 992 and a 376. And we have plenty. The big problem is it's in a long time, and I don't want to wait that long time. So let's actually plan to leave right now and see what happens. Let's plan to leave right now, next orbit. What was that, 750? I don't remember what the thing was. And obviously we're going backwards. It's like the exact opposite direction we want to go. So let's go forward in time. And also in velocity. And also in time again. Come on, let me click on what I want to click on. There we go. I love it when it shows me that. Nothing helps you decide what you want to do more than that kind of helpful. Yeah, see, that's totally inefficient. Even I can't be that inefficient. Okay. So let's change our time. Let's bring it back down. Because what we can do is we can do this. How much is this going to cost? Something along these lines. 882. And then that's most of it. So yeah, let's just do that. I don't feel like dealing with it. Pretty sure that's what NASA would do. Okay. So let's take our 100 times time warp for an hour. Hello, viewer. You're doing the least efficient Dres to Eeloo transfer. I would say the least efficient Dres to Eeloo transfer ever, but really, how often do people transfer from Dres to Eeloo? I'm going to guess none. They transfer none Dres to Eeloo times. Grey Dark, how are you doing? Is it late, early, or otherwise for you? It's late for me. It's about 2 something in the morning. Okay, I'm done time warping here. Let's go to the Space Center. Feels like a waste doing that for an hour, but I'm time warp. I'm not going to time warp for 6 minutes. Okay, this is a long burn, so we better start it now and be aimed at it. Didn't quite realize it was a 2-minute and 45-second burn when I did this time warp. Oh, stupid engines. Granted, compared to a skipper, this little 48-7S is not that big of a deal, but still, come on. It is 8:16 in the morning. You're making breakfast. Nice job, man. I normally work third shift here in the States, so this is kind of a normal time for me. I'm going to be breaking for dinner in a couple hours. But actually, I might be breaking after I finish Eeloo. I think I'm gonna pack it in for the night. I started this stream heading to Duna, and we've done Duna and Jerez, and I'm about to go to Eeloo after a long time warp. This is gonna be ridiculous time warpage. I might actually even cancel it once we get this ejection down and I get an encounter node, and do that off camera, because it's gonna be like minutes of time warping at 100,000 times time warp, waiting for years to go by. Okay, I think I can start watching the orbit line now. Because as soon as it does roughly what I want it to do, that's when we can stop. And it's this right here, this purple one is the one I care about. Because we burned late and we're burning for so long, we're going to be very far off from what we actually want. Yeah, because see, we're actually burning. See, we're already past the node. Well, not quite past the node, but we're almost past the node. We're not quite there yet. So we're just going to burn up until this gets about to Eeloo's orbit, which is what I did with the maneuver nodes. There we go. Now this maneuver node, we will snap to where we want it, and obviously that's too much. This is the ascending node of 0.7, so we need to come down a little bit. Oh. Not that it matters, but there we go. Then, assuming we get that maneuver node, I'll do another one out here to somehow get an Eeloo encounter, and it might be a couple years of orbiting to get that. Because the game doesn't want to tell me the information that I want to know, so we're not going to bother with that. We'll probably do something along those lines. There we go. Boom, something like that. 591 here. 57 there, and then whatever it takes to get into orbit. And that'll leave us with $1,000 to actually land on Eeloo, which even I can do that. Whew. Okay. That's done. I'm done for the night. I'm at least done. I might do this again tomorrow morning, which is weird to say because considering it's already tomorrow morning. But in theory, tomorrow afternoon, I guess it would be. Maybe 12-ish hours from now, I might do the Eeloo part. But yeah, thank you for coming on here at the end of this. I've been streaming for hours though, so there's a whole bunch of stuff in the backlog. The stuff where I'm landing on Duna is kind of entertaining, I think. That was some of the first stuff I did tonight. So hope you enjoyed watching this though. Also catch me on YouTube. There's a link down below. Everything. I enjoyed playing this. I'm HMV and I will, as always, talk at you later.